Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Oaghaji, aka Oaghaji, and I'm back with another review. Today's review is going to be on the classic Korean novel, The Story of Hong Gildong. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be reviewing this classic right here. Now, I definitely like this book, but before we get into that, let's talk about the plot. Or I'm just going to read it in the back of this rendition of the novel right here. The Story of Hong Gildong is arguably the most important work of classic Korean fiction. A fantastic story of adventure, it has been adapted into countless movies, television shows, novels, and comics in Korea. Its hero, Hong Gildong, is the brilliant but illegitimate son of a government minister. Though he possesses uncanny powers and wisdom beyond his years, his second class status prevents him from advancing in society, so he leaves home to seek a greater path. He becomes the leader of a band of fearless outlaws, winning glory and fame as an invincible warrior and master strategist. Yet, for all the kingdoms he might conquer, Hongkyudo never ceases to long for the acceptance of the family he left behind to fulfill his noble destiny. Now, like I said in the beginning, I enjoyed reading this novel. I've always been interested in this story of this fiction of this Korean heroic Korean outlaw of Hong Gildong, especially takes place in the Jeon dynasty of Korea. I definitely like the story in this story in this. I also like the characters, especially the main character Hong Gildong. Despite the fact that he's this illegitimate son of a government minister, he always wants to do some good, especially as an outlaw, of all the trials and tribulations he had to go through, despite having these uncanny magical powers and whatnot. I was like, I like that, and you also get to know a little bit of Korean culture, especially during the ancient times, which I like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, to me, the story and the characters are pretty awesome. They're pretty good. And I also like the action in this novel as well, because it's with the classical Korean martial arts that are weaponry based, like the swordsmanship and whatnot, and things like that, as well as the fantasy elements with the magical powers and things like that, which I also think is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's why I like the most. Like I said, the title character himself, Hong Gildong, is definitely my favorite character. Because like I said, because of all the stuff I mentioned earlier. But now I don't want to give a lot away, or I should say too much away, because I don't want to spoil this story at all, because I want y'all to read the story for yourself, because because it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying. What I like about this release of this classical novel is that you get to know is that in the introduction as well as in the end, you get to know about the Korean words and customs and all that, and some of the debates and the context behind this novel and things of that nature, which I definitely like. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, overall, the story of Hong Gildong is a great classical novel in Korean literature and culture. You know what I'm saying? I definitely enjoyed myself reading this. So to me, the story of Hong Gildong gets a 4.5 out of 5. Hope y'all enjoy this review of the story of Hong Gildong. There's going to be again, there's going to be reviews on the way, depending, how I want to do it, how I'm feeling and stuff like that. But yeah, more reviews are definitely going to be on the way. If I'm fully up to it, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's it for now. This is Ogechi Ogaji, aka Oagaji, signing out. Peace.